I do not know much about gods, but I think that the river is a strong brown god, sullen, untamed, and intractable, patient to some degree, at first recognized as a frontier, useful, untrustworthy, as a conveyor of commerce, then only a problem confronting the builders of bridges. The problem once solved, the brown god is almost forgotten by the dwellers in cities, ever, however, implacable, keeping his season in rages, destroyer, reminder of what men choose to forget, unhonored, unappreciated by worshippers of the machine, but waiting, watching and waiting. His rhyme was present in the nursery bedroom, in the rank of amethysts of the April dooryards, in the smell of grapes on the autumn table, and the evening circle in the winter gaslight. The river is within us. The sea is all about us. The sea is the land's edge also, the granite into which it reaches, the beaches where it tosses its hints of earlier and other creation, the starfish, the horseshoe crab, the whale backbone, the pools where it offers to our curiosity the more delicate algae, and the sea anemone. It tosses up our losses, the torn seine, the shattered lobster pot, the broken oar, and the gear of foreign dead men. The sea has many voices, many gods and many voices. The salt is on the briar rose, the fog is in the fir trees. The sea howls and the sea yelps are different voices, often together heard, the whine in the rigging, the menace and the caress of wave that breaks on water, the distant rote in a granite teeth, and the wailing warning from the approaching headland, are all sea voices. And the heavier groaner rounded homewards, and the seagull, and under the impression of the silent fog, the tolling bow, measures time, not our time, wrung by the unhurried ground swell, a time older than time of chronometers, older than time counted by anxious, worried women, lying awake calculating the future, trying to unweave, unwind, unravel, and piece together the past and the future, between midnight and dawn, when the past is all deception, the future futureless, before the morning watch, when time stops and time is never ending, and the ground swell that is and was from the beginning clangs the bell. Where is there an end of it, the soundless wailing, the silent withering of autumn flowers, dropping their petals and remaining motionless? Where is there an end to the drifting wreckage, the prayer of the bone on the beach, the unprayable prayer of the calamitous annunciation? There is no end, but addition, the trailing consequence of further days and hours, while emotion takes to itself the emotionless years of living among the breakage of what was believed in as the most reliable, and therefore the fittest for renunciation. There is the final addition, the falling pride of resentment or failing powers, the unattached devotion which might pass for devotionless, in a drifting boat with a slow leakage, the silent listening to the undeniable clamour of the bow of the last annunciation. Where is the end of them, the fishermen sailing into the wind's tail where the fog cowers? We cannot think of a time that is oceanless, or an ocean not littered with wastage, or a future that is not liable, like the past, to have no destination. We have to think of them as forever bailing, setting and howling, while the north-east lowers over shallow banks unchanging and erosionless, or drawing their money, drying salted dockage, not as making a trip that will be unpayable for a whole that will not bear examination. There is no end of it, the voiceless wailing, no end to the withering of withered flowers, to the movement of pain that is painless and motionless, to the drift of the sea and the drifting wreckage, the bone's prayer to death, its God, only the hardly, barely prayable prayer of the one Annunciation. It seems, as one becomes older, that the past has another pattern, and ceases to be a mere sequence, or even development, the latter of a partial fallacy, encouraged by superficial notions of evolution, which becomes in the popular mind a means of disowning the past. The moment of happiness, not the sense of well-being, fruition, fulfillment, security, or affection, or even a very good dinner, but the sudden illumination. We had the experience, but missed the meaning. An approach to the meaning restores the experience, in a different form beyond any meaning we can assign to happiness. I have said before that the past experience revived in the meaning is not the experience of one's life only, but of many generations, not forgetting something that is probably quite ineffable. The backwards look behind the assurance of recorded history, the backward half look, over the shoulder, towards the primitive terror. Now we have come to discover that the moment of agony, whether or not due to misunderstanding, having hoped for the wrong thing or dreaded the wrong things, is not in question, are likewise permanent, with such permanence as time has. We appreciate this better in the agony of others, nearly experienced, involving ourselves, than in our own, for our own past is covered by the currents of action, but the torment of others remains an experience unqualified, unworn by subsequent attrition. People change and smile, but the agony abides. Time the destroyer is time the preserver, like the river with its cargo of dead negroes, cows and chickens, coops, the bitter apple and the bite in the apple, and the ragged rock in the restless waters. Waves wash over it, fogs conceal it. On a Holcomb day it is merely a monument. In navigable weather it is always a sea mark to lay a course by, but in the sombre season or the sudden fury is what it always was.